Something a little different and very special today from Grace Harbor for our devotional. A good friend of mine, Sean Welch, wrote something that I think you're going to find extremely intriguing and also very, very challenging. And he's titled this devotional, "Who Cleans the Toilet You Use?" And the subtitle of this is Demonstrating Empathy Rather Than Requiring It. You see, empathy has become a very popular word these days. It seems that recently, as a society, we're trying to be as empathetic, as tolerant, and as understanding as possible. On the surface, this seems like a great thing, right? But the dictionary defines empathy as the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Well, that seems good. And the Bible is absolutely littered with passages that represent the value of empathy. Ephesians 4:22 says, "Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, as God in Christ forgave you." Galatians 6:2 says, "Bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ." Peter says it this way in 3:8. It says, "Finally, all of you have unity of mind, sympathy, brotherly love, a tender heart, and a humble mind." Jesus' life and his uncompromising love for all mankind are such powerful examples of this. We can always look to his example of empathy and love and find personal inspiration. But when we try to bring more empathy into the world, do we follow the same example? Do we succeed in the same way? Even with an idea as positive and as virtuous as empathy, it seems we most often start by looking in the wrong places. We start by looking at others. Are my coworkers nice enough? Does that politician evoke enough tolerance? Is my boss creating a positive work environment? Is my sister being kind enough to my mother? Why would my neighbor say something so insensitive? Why can't everyone else just do a little bit better? Why can't they be more tolerant, more understanding, more empathetic? And just like that, as with most things, human nature takes the virtue of empathy and turns it into a vessel for passing judgment. This is not empathy. Pointing out the lapses of others, even if they are lapses in empathy, does not make the world a more empathetic place, that's for sure. But with God's grace and Jesus' example, maybe we can see this failing logic. Maybe we can start with ourselves. That's what the Bible suggests. In Matthew 7:12, it says, "So whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. For this is the law and the prophets." Perhaps now we are on the right track. If we can take care in how we express ourselves and focus on how we make others feel, then surely we can bring more empathy into this world. If I express enough appreciation, enough respect, and love for others, both similar and dissimilar to me, am I increasing the amount of empathy in my community? Well, almost. This is more in line with sympathy. Sympathy is defined as support in the form of feelings or opinions. Although we are closer, we are still missing the shared part of empathy. And that brings us to this exciting conclusion. The answer is simple: shared experience. Empathy is not a feeling, it's a demonstration. It's not something that we require of others. It's not something that we feel. It is something that we show. It's our acts of service to our friends, our family, our church, and our community that deliver them the empathy that we hold so dear. By taking on their burdens, by experiencing the effort of helping them, we achieve empathy. So as the title of this devotional suggests, and as my father used to ask me, Sean says, who cleans the toilet you use? Trust me, someone does. And sharing empathy with that person is just a scrub brush away. a little bit of a prayer here. Thank you, Lord, for the wisdom and truth that's in the Bible. May each passage continue to be a blessing in our lives each day, that we choose to read and heed your word. Thank you to Sean Welch for sharing such an inspiring reminder about the true meaning of empathy. And so I ask you today, who cleans the toilet that you use? Do you know what it would really mean to show them some empathy?